Hey guys, I'm Richard from TechRaptor.net. I'm sitting here with Daniel Vavra of Warhorse Studios. We just took a look at his new game, Kingdom Come Deliverance, and it looks awesome, I have to say. So first, can you just tell us like a quick summary of the game and what we actually got to see earlier?
It's a first-person, realistic medieval RPG, something like mixture between Skyrim and Witcher, like freedom of Skyrim, storytelling of Witcher, let's say. And basically our motto is Dungeons and No Dragons, so it's based in real world, with real world history. We have actual characters that lived in the past, and our major selling point would be a unique, authentic first-person melee combat.
Okay. That's one thing you mentioned just now is you based all this off of history. I caught that during your demo. You said Bohemian History, right? So this is all locations in Bohemia that have existed in the past, and you're recreating it in a digital form, which makes Skyrim look like a potato. Like, this looks awesome. Skyrim doesn't look so good anymore. So this looks amazing, and because of the realism, you guys, you take that extra step into making everything as accurate as you could. Like, could you say what you said about the corn and whatever that was?
When you are writing, even if you are writing a book or novel or whatever, and when you are writing about actual history, you need to do a lot of research. So we have a historian on site, like in the team. So when I or some of the writers don't know something, we ask her and she finds out. It requires a little bit of extra work, but on the other hand, it kind of pays off because all the information you receive let you use them in some interesting way in the game. So when I learn something new, I usually utilize it in a quest or something. And if I didn't have the information, I would have to come up with something which would be actually hard as well. So I would say it requires some extra work on research, but it pays off, and I think it's something different than most of the games out there.
Yeah, it's not something you see every day when people put that extra step to get historically accurate video games. It's not something you hear about that often. Something else you mentioned was the combat is physics-based. And so the swords will slide off the armor, and you feel a little more like you're in a fight, and it's not just bash and bash and bash. What kind of research did it take to get this game to that point in combat?
A lot, and it was fun. Actually, we work with several swordsmen who are actually very good at this and do it according to old fact books. So we tried it ourselves. I actually fought with member of American National Battle of the Nations team.
Okay.
So I had a full plate armor on myself, and I was really beaten by somebody who is good at it.
So if you want to get something right, you got to get in and do it yourself,
well,
right?
We tried it with the bows, long bows, because it's quite hard to shoot a long bow as well.
Yeah.
And so most of the moves in our game are as accurate as possible. And we, of course, should kind of make it possible to play it with a joypad or a keyboard. So it's not simulation, but it should feel like very accurate or authentic recreation of the actual fencing.
Okay, cool. It was really neat to watch. You could jab and you could slash from all different directions. It was really interesting. Another thing that caught my attention was you mentioned the AI. You said that's your bottleneck right now, is because everyone has their own thing that they're doing, even like the chickens, right?
Yeah, the thing is that everybody thinks that the graphics are the problem and they will need a super powerful computer to run it. But actually it's not because of graphics, but mostly because of AI. At least currently we are going to optimize it, I hope. But everybody in the world, and there's hundreds of people and other entities, is kind of simulated. Everybody has its own, let's say, will or preferences. For example, every person has a daily routine. They are walking around the world and doing something. They sleep during the night. They go to pub to drink in the evening. And it can happen that the pub is full and the person can decide, okay, the pub is full, I will go somewhere else. And what I like to chat with my friend, so he will go and chat with his friend. Every person in the world has some predefined set of popular activities, and they act according to it. And you can mess up with it. You can kill the bartender and the pub will be empty because there is nobody to serve people, and
So you can
most
have a
of the
real
village
effect
will be
on.
searching for who killed the bartender or something.
Oh wow! So you can really have an effect on the world of the game.
Yes.
Okay, then one last question before we get out of here. With a lot of sandbox games, there is the complaint that they're empty, that the world, there's not a lot of people in it. How are you guys, with such an intense AI, how do you guys plan on filling the world and making it feel more real and immersive?
Well, it's hard.
Yeah.
We will do our best, but the thing is that, for example, quests in our game, when you go to a village, most of the people are somehow involved in a lot of the quests. So basically, you will be probably able to ask more people than in other games, and it will start a quest. And several people can start one quest, and there are different points of view from those people. So there may be two opposing sides in a quest. So each side will ask you to do something against the other side.
Okay.
So the world feels much better when you enter a village, and you can talk with people about something that's actual your job then. So
Something relevant
They
to
are
what you're
interactive, and it's not bullshit that like, we are happy here and blah blah blah. They actually ask you to do something, and everybody has something to ask you. That makes the world a little bit more interesting, and also we plan to have some random encounters and events. So there is not going to be a dungeon every 100 meters in the world, but you will meet people, you will meet some random encounters. I would say it's going to be similar to Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
When you traveled around the map, stuff happens.
Random people show up and do things to you. Right on. Well, thank you, Daniel, for talking with us
pleasure.
for a little bit
Thank
and
you
showing
very
us the game. Guys, check out Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's going to be in alpha access, you said.
It's
coming
in
soon.
access already.
Okay.
This
Next
what we
build
showed
is coming
you
up.
Going to be released like in 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
And the beta is going to hopefully be released at the end of the year, and full game next year.
Next
in
year.
summer.
Okay, so we're looking at about a year and a half
Yeah.
before we get to see what's going on. So keep an eye out for Kingdom Come Deliverance. It looks great, and Daniel's been very helpful, so thank you guys, and keep checking back for more E3 coverage.
All right.